Alright, welcome back. So when we dropped off last time, we were getting ready to level up our dex to 14. That'll let us use our bow. And we're going to head on back to Tower on the Wall. Man, the loading screen boss in this game on Xbox is terrible. Honestly, I ought to be doing this on my PlayStation. A lot faster load screens on that one. Xbox is just all worn out. Just don't really want to rebuy the game, you know? Alright. This time I would really recommend that you kill that knight before tackling the dragon, because the knight does walk around and you don't want to randomly get aggroed by the knight when you're focused on killing the dragon. So, come here, knight boy. You don't actually have to line up. The game has a lot of wiggle room when it gives you backstab animations. So, just twist around to where you think you might be behind him and you'll get that backstab. Alright. Now, just go ahead and take that off. So you can two-hand bows by pressing triangle or Y. And then with the left bumper, you can zoom in. So when you were shooting this dragon, you want to aim for these ridges. If you aim between them, the arrows has a tendency to just shoot right through and do no damage. You just kind of aim right there. It's a good spot. There we go, we did damage. Now we did 55 damage there, and then you see he'll turn and breathe fire at us, so we just walk on inside. It's kind of a rinse and repeat, honestly. This is... You get a large Titanite shard, which lets you upgrade weapons. I think it's worth it, just because you then don't have to end up doing a stupid run for items, because he is guarding some really good stuff, including the Claymore, which is... The main weapon we're going to use for the first part of this walkthrough is going to be the Claymore. It's also termed the Baymore and is one of the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. Nice two-handed sword. Oh. And here we go. Sometimes you'll be able to shoot 2 arrows before you react, sometimes just 1. I always just give it a second, and I don't move until I see his head come around. You don't want to walk out till the fire's totally gone, or it will absolutely burn you. Here he comes. So you actually can't kill this dragon, you just hurt him enough and he'll fly away. So, it's a lot of fun, honestly. This is really one of the most mindless parts of the entire game. You can definitely wait and do this later. I just want the weapon. You can make a run for it. I don't really feel like it. But if you run, just keep your shield up. You'll typically survive to at least grab it, though. Then you die after you've picked it up almost every time. Sometimes you live, sometimes you don't. It really depends. I just don't like to mess with it. Figure just kill the dragon. While we're here, you can talk through the build style we're going. So it is quality build, which means 40 strength and 40 dex is our goal. With that, you want 35 endurance and 35 vigor. It'll give you a good health pool, so you have a lot of margin for error, and you can swing your sword enough times with heavier weapons. We're also going to go ahead and buff vitality up to 25 or up to 20. That'll just let us have some heavier armor, and we have a few rings we're going to go ahead and get that'll just increase that. The quality build is the strongest character I've ever created in Dark Souls. I've never really come up with a character that I think is all around more dangerous than a quality build. especially in PvP. If you do get invaded, I'm playing in offline mode, but I would highly recommend that you play in online mode. It's just more entertaining. You can also summon help. People from outside can come in and help you, and a lot of the time the people that are doing it have already played through the game a dozen or so times, and so they can really just champ an area for you if you're ever having trouble. Oh man, I totally forgot how long this took. This does take a painfully long time just to kill one annoying little dragon. Not even kill him, just get him to fly away. Come on, it's just ridiculous. Unfortunately, this is not like in Dark Souls 1 where you can shoot his tail and then get a cool weapon. Honestly, it made it more worth messing around with dragons. Ugh. As you can see, arrows sometimes like to go through the dragon's wing. He is just progressively getting angry. I mean, can't really blame him for being upset. Can you imagine you sit in a chair, something just starts stinging you? So we're kind of like a bee to this guy. Oh, no, 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 no. As you can see, if you get greedy, he can breathe fire on you. Does a good bit of damage. I wouldn't recommend trying to tank his fire. Can really hurt at this point in the game. Two. He's at about half health. I think you have to take him down to about a third of his health before he flies away. 100% sure. So one of my friends did ask me why I was thinking about doing a 100% walkthrough for this game. One of the reasons is that there's really, while there are some comprehensive walkthroughs, they don't all cover the NPC quests. And they're all from around 2016, 2017 timeframe. Problem with that is they really changed the scaling of a lot of weapons. You know, the most well-known ones use weapons that just aren't good anymore, typically because they were using them in the first place because they were so good, and you know, FromSoft decided to come in and just nerf the weapons. So now they're just not things you see used. Like the Fume Ultra Greatsword was a really commonly used weapon right when it first came out because of how much damage it did. And it's just not good anymore. It's not that it doesn't do damage, it's just not nearly as overpowered as it once was. So we are just going to stick with the weapons that are actually good here in 2020. And the other reason is Dark Souls 3 has just like come back to life. It is a lot more people are playing it for the first time. I think partially because of the quarantine that's been going on, and partially because there was a Steam sale of the game, and so a bunch of people started playing it after they bought it for basically no money. But yeah, hopefully this helps a couple of people get through it. It is oriented at like a first-time player. This is definitely not a walkthrough that's going to help a veteran of Dark Souls 3 out in really any way, but who knows. Sometimes I like to sit down and just watch people's walkthroughs just for fun, so you know, maybe somebody will enjoy that as well. Man, trying to come up with conversation as we sit here and slowly pick away at this dude's health really makes me respect a lot of the streamers more. This is painful. Sitting here going, man, I wonder if somebody's gonna watch me plink a dragon with arrows for 15 minutes. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been that bored. Maybe I am. Who knows? I definitely recommend, if this is the first video you're watching, oh god, just skip this video, get to the next one. I am going to include this though, just for the sake of being, you know, really thorough with this. I want to include everything, you know. I want somebody to get a full understanding of everything that you're supposed to do in the game. Oh no. He's not letting me get away with multiple arrows anymore. 11 minutes of shooting this dragon. 11. Yes! Fly away, you. There he goes. You can see he just kind of disappears. But now we can go get our precious items. Come on. Got the club. Got an ember. You. Come on, Axeman. My axe is better than your axe. Ooh, raw gem. Raw gems are super good. You can infuse your weapons with them. Takes away stat scaling, but you can quite a bit of damage. And then don't forget to grab this one, soul item. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and swap. Ooh, we can't yet. We need one more point into strength before we can go ahead and swap over to the claymore. Not a big deal. So yeah, it's about the episode. Honestly, took up kind of all of our time killing that dragon, but now he's dead and we never have to worry about him again. So can't jump that gap if you are a parkour master. I am not. Yeah, back to the bonfire. We're going to rest, and then in the next episode we're going to progress around, get to a shortcut back to the other bonfire, and we're also going to save a friend. So yeah, fun stuff ahead.